Okay, Mark the Stampede here. So they just released a quote unquote official rank for Smash Ultimate. I think it's the very first one. I'm gonna live react to it. Just a brief background of my Ultimate experience. I have gone to Super Smash Con twice. I've gone to a few locals. Um, I've done a lot. I did pretty almost every Nintendo online tournament. The was it the North America online tournament thing. So I've tried to not spoil this. So just wait to. So I have experience with Ultimate is what I'm trying to say. However, I'm going to admit that I'm not very good, but I think I have played enough Ultimate since it came out 4.5 years ago that I have a pretty good handle on it. I will say this is PG stats list. Uh, Obviously the original tier list were based off of for the other Smash games were obviously this from the Smash back room from the Smash boards people. Kind of the accepted tier list. This is they're saying this is to the top. They were trying to they're saying they tried to make a tier list based on the top 100 from the spring PGRU, and then later on they did a survey from the 35 to the top 50. So I believe they try to get as many of the top 100 I think players in the PGR. But I think there's a couple things to know just in terms of tier list. So these are going to be based on professional smashers' opinion. So it's a little different than. I guess you gotta think of it a few ways. So like professional, like people that are really good, they're gonna their play style, what they're looking for in a character is gonna be different from what someone who's not as good is, and especially if they're playing offline mostly. And then even people that are really good online, they're characters that are better online than they are offline, and vice versa, right? And then for people that are just playing for fun, this is just kind of fun to look at. It doesn't really affect you. Okay, so let's look at it. Like I said, I've been trying not to spoil it for myself. Okay, so first, I guess we'll just go down from the top since for top tier, Steve, Pirate Mithra, Joker. All right. I get so that's S plus. They split the tiers into interesting. They've got so that's actually a lot of tiers. Okay, so I get Steve. Steve is I get if somebody knows how to play Steve, it's pretty much impossible to stop them, right? They're so good as playing as there's so much you can set up with Steve. I've had some fun playing the Steve, but I think it's all the Zoomers, right, that are that have time that are just like better at Steve than the older players. So yeah, the problem with Steve is he has so much setups he can do, and that he gets kills pretty early, and then while you're off screen, he can keep farming. Pirate and Mithra. Pirate Mithra, very easy to pick up and play. They both. That really makes sense as to why they're second. They kind of have almost. They probably have pretty much every advantage. The only weakness they really have is their recovery, right? And you can even kind of fudge that with changing characters. Mithra. Kind of hard to kill with Mithra, but it is possible. And then it's very easy to kill with the Pyra. Even though Pyra is slow, she has so many ways to keep you at range. Joker, that's just obvious. Arsene is it's just kind of unfair. It's an instant win. you get the Joker players get rewarded for losing, because the more damage you take, the faster Arsene builds. So, not really fair. And you don't even need Arsene to actually be. He's already a. I think with Art Arsene, I think Joker's already probably high tier, not like top tier, but with Arsene, he's definitely top tier. And I think, okay, I think this is stuff that is all of this. I think the very top is very indicative of this is an offline tournament. This is an offline competitive list, right? Because I feel like it is easier to edgeguard Pyra and Mithra online. It's I think it's easier to exploit their weaknesses. And Joker, like for his non-Arsene stuff, like the drag down up air, which is very, I really never got consistent at it. But the Rar Bear, those are his main kills, right? So they're harder to do. And then what else? The down tilt to a smash attack is kind of a sort of a combo. So those things are much harder. Those are much harder to set up online because they all kind of require precise timing. So online, I would not say Joker is top tier. I would say, I mean, even Leo stopped. MK Leo like didn't play him online when all the tournaments were in. All tournaments were online during COVID. He didn't play. He really didn't play Joker at all. But yeah, in terms of, I mean, this totally makes sense. There's nothing really surprising about this top. I guess the only surprise is that Kazuya isn't in the top. That's really, I mean, but he's right there in the next one. So let's get on the next one. S tier: Sonic, Fox, Rob, Kazuya, Roy, and Peach/Daisy. All right, so I guess Sonic. I mean, I kind of stopped watching competitive Smash right after SmashCon in August. I guess Sonic has come up a lot. I don't know, but I mean, Sonic has. It's just so hard to just hit Sonic. He's got the speed. He has so many ways just to keep away. He's got a lot of good edge guarding things with his springs and stuff, and his homing device and his homing attack. I guess it's just, and especially online during another thing during online, it was like there's so many Sonics. It was getting hard to watch. Honestly, I pretty much also didn't watch very much during 2020 because the tournaments were getting brutal to watch. Everything was Sonic versus Roy and crap like every. But anyway, I guess the reason why online he's also annoying. I might even put Sonic at top tier online, like the top of the S plus tier. The problem, I guess, the problem with Sonic is the kill power isn't there. There's a lot of like dinking and dunking in terms of, I guess, I don't know why, in terms of talking about like, anyway, if you're thinking of it in terms of a football metaphor, to get the kills. And I guess I'll talk about this in terms of like a more casual player too. So for a more casual player, if you have patience and you just want to annoy your friends until your friends just eventually just SD because they're so tired of dealing with you, probably Sonic is S tier, but it does take a lot to get the kill with Sonic. Okay, Fox is great. He's so fast. He has keep away power. He's got pretty decent recovery. I guess, and he has he still has the run up smash, right? Does that still work? It's been like every Smash game, but I think it still works. I haven't played Smash in a while. Just full disclosure. That definitely makes sense, but kind of feels like this is a Light thing where Light is carrying Fox, so that's why Fox is up so high. Because again, kind of a lot of Fox's setups are very frame specific, so for a casual player and for online, it doesn't work quite as well. Oh, I feel like you do a lot more cheese in terms of offstage shenanigans with Fox online. Okay. Rob is next, so Rob definitely. This is just one of the characters that everybody that does really well in competitive, but you don't see as many. I don't know. Doesn't think it works as well for casual players. It's because it's just kind of not. It's not. I don't think it's that hard to use. I guess it's the gyro thing. Like so much of it's relying on his gyro game of keeping like where the gyro is, keeping the gyro active, using the gyro for edge guarding, which is something you can pick up, but it's not. And pretty much any professional Rob is going to do that, but for more casual people, it's not. They're not going to pick it up as fast. So it's a little bit harder. I think you see casuals SD trying with his up B. It's like an amazing up. It's like he has a great recovery, but it's also easy to mess up. So I mean, for a casual person, I would definitely put him in one of the A's probably still, because he's got I guess the other issue, he's so easy to hit in combo because he's so big. That's the downside though. That also because he's so big, he can take a lot of damage and he can lift for a long time. So I guess nothing is really that. So I guess the only thing that's really this also makes sense. I guess surprising that Kazuya is not higher. A little surprised that Fox is this high. Kazuya. So now going to Kazuya, one other character that if you know how to use him, it's just like it's pretty much no weaknesses in him. So he has a sort of a different control scheme than any other character, but he has like multiple. He ends up having more attacks than other players. But it seems like the Kazuya players have really figured out just like the best way to use them, and how he has a reaction to every situation. It's something that I could never do because basically you'd have to. It's not just tilts and smash attacks. It's different types of tilts, different types of jab. It's just like there's so much you have to learn. It's like learning a fighting game character. But people that are learning how to do it and can react, like know exactly which tilt attack to use at a certain time, are pretty much unstoppable. There's not much you can do. So I mean, even his recovery as regular Kazuya is kind of exploitable. He kind of falls. He's a fast faller that's heavy, but so I guess you could technically edge guard him, but once he gets the devil wing, it's pretty much impossible. Okay, Roy. Roy makes sense. Roy is a fast sortie who can really dash in and out and be really hard to hit. I guess he's a little predictable, I guess is the only thing I would say. But that's not really. I mean, and he was just an online. He's actually probably S+ tier. Even though he's predictable online, there's like not much you can do about like his just the way that he can react to something compared to how fast your character can react. You're almost always gonna lose those situations. So, I mean, I think online S tier. I think, for a casual person. I would probably put Lucina higher for a casual because Roy's a little bit harder to learn how to play. There's a little more in terms of knowing the range of his attacks, and his recovery is good but not great. I think for a casual person I wouldn't put it up as high. I would play Lucina first if you're starting out, or if you're just playing with your friends. Okay, Peach and Daisy. Okay, so another character that people that learn how to use Peach and Daisy could be pretty much unstoppable. She's got turn-ups for range. She's got so many combos. She's got all these weird float to float cancels to. I mean, you could just like she could basically play on any part of the stage in any elevation, which could be very hard. So she can have, so it can be really hard to do much to her. I think, and then online, this is kind of fun. The stuff like the float cancels and the others and the more complicated combo strings is harder to pull off. But like the Peach Bomber is just so ridiculously hard to react to online. It's so annoying. Her side B is like a superpower online. So I mean I think I'd probably put her not as high up, but that side B really goes hard. For casuals, I would put her pretty low actually. She could like a lot. Every time somebody starts to play as her, Peach or Daisy, you see them just like die over and over again, just like not knowing not knowing how to string the float cancels and the up Bs together. So I wouldn't really think of her as high. I'd probably put her in like B or even C for someone starting out. All right, so that's. I guess let's go over all of the S's to discuss whether or not we think things are missing from S or not. Okay, S minus Cloud. This kind of also feels like Spargo is the one making Cloud this high. Cloud has some nice things, right? He's got a big sword. He has decent tilt. He's got good tilt attacks. His specials are pretty good. I would say his specials are very predictable. His recovery is kind of bad. Though not though for something like Spargo and other like top clouds, they've really figured out how to recover without being exploited. But and then online, I mean, I don't know. I'd probably put him lower online, even though his specials work better. It just seems like people have a lot of trouble recovering online with Cloud. I don't know why. That you think that wouldn't really translate, but and then it's a good. I'm not really sure in terms of a casual ranking where I would put Cloud. Probably like low B, high C. He like his specials are really good for beginners. They kind of really seem overpowering if you're a beginner playing Cloud. His tilts are good. His dash attack is a good approach tool sometimes. I think though the issue is the recovery, especially for beginners, we're really gonna feel like it sucks. Okay. Wolf makes sense. I wonder if this was rated the beginning of Ultimate's lifespan, Wolf would be higher than Fox. He hits harder. His combos are shorter but more consistent, I think. I don't know. His laser and his reflector work better? Question mark. I feel like Fox's laser and reflector are faster, but Wolf's is more powerful. I think the problem with Wolf is his recovery isn't. I mean, he technically has some good recovery tools, but it's if I'm doing for online for novices, they're gonna die a lot. You're gonna die a lot online. You're gonna die a lot if you're trying to learn playing as Wolf. And then a lot of his so-called combos put you off stage, and then you almost die. Then sometimes you die just trying to figure out doing your kill confirm. So not great. So honestly, if I'm thinking of competitive, I would think that Wolf and Fox are almost the same. I don't know. if I was in a tournament, I wouldn't want to face Wolf or Fox pretty much the same. So I would say that I would put them pretty much even. For online, I'd probably put him at like low A, high B, and for a novice, like a C, because you're just gonna die over and over again. Okay, Diddy Kong is yeah, Diddy Kong S minus. That makes sense. This is mostly what Dakpo and Tweak playing as Diddy Kong. They're keeping up this high, but people that are good with Diddy Kong are, and I feel the same way I'm playing online. If you play a good Diddy Kong, it feels like there's nothing you can do. There's so much pressure you can apply with the banana, just like, and then his up B just going anywhere on the stage, almost recovering from almost anywhere. And I don't know where I'd put him online. It's hard to say because there's times when I played somebody online with Diddy Kong and then they would just spam side B and banana and they feel like there's nothing I could do. So I guess I put him at S2, but then the other times you play a Diddy Kong and they just SD 3 times in a row and it's like not like they're doing it on purpose. They just like can't figure out what to do. And I suck as a Diddy Kong. I understand how cool it is. I understand how to set up the move. I just can't do it. So I think this is the right word would be for competitive. For a novice, honestly, like don't like way down, like C or lower. It's just so hard to. You really have to know your banana, all your banana combo. You have to know how to use the banana constantly. You have to know you really have to know your angles with the up B. You're not gonna do well. don't play as Diddy Kong if you're starting out. Okay, Pikachu. I might put higher for competitive. I guess that if there's more people playing as Pikachu, we probably would be maybe even higher in the S tier, like top 5. I think because it's really only Esam playing as Pikachu, and doing like top 10 in majors. But what can't Pikachu do? He can recover from anywhere, attack from anywhere. He has kill power. He has hit and run power. He has projectile power. He can keep it length projectile. There's really nothing Pikachu can't do. The cooldown on his moves are there's not much cooldown on his moves. It's very hard to punish. It's very hard to punish a Pikachu player that misses. Pikachu is I don't know if it's true anymore, but at one point he was the character that had he had the most amount of winning matchups. So pretty much playing as anybody against Pikachu. The only people that I can think of the top of my head that actually have a winning matchup against Pikachu are Ness and Lucas. So I'm not sure why Pikachu wouldn't be higher. For online, I'd probably put him a little bit lower online, like an A tier. It's just a little bit harder to be accurate with his movement online. So I'd put him a little bit lower, but he's still very annoying to play against as Pikachu. Usually, unless I'm playing as Ness, if I see a Pikachu, it's like, oh man, I'm gonna get bodied. It doesn't matter if it's online